Welcome to the Vale, a rare bastion of civilization in a world recuperating after a terrible, centuries-long war. Though the battles ended 200 years ago, the land still recovers from this period of tumultuous strife and slavery. Join now the defenders of the Vale as they navigate a world riddled with opportunity and tragedy, all the while seeking glory, gold, and adventure.
Gry, whose skeletons were defeated by the breath weapon of the red wormling dragon, was in a frantic tizzy to put the flames out and grab the skeletons, and was in a panic. You guys were kind of like, dragon, necromancer, dead elf. What's so much is going on? Probably Bash's favorite time in the game ever because there's nothing but murder going on. He gets up and he wants to take his Tim and Tom are the skeletons names. He wants to go repair Tim and Tom immediately. Eventually, Basil and Rabijan go help him repair his skeleton. And that's kind of where we left off. It's been about 3 hours. Your characters are still about 3-4 hours after the fight with the dragon. Rabijan, Basil, and Gry are all in a little shack that he had kind of built. It's about a little one room. It's basically enough size for a little cot that he has to roll up, and then like shelves for experiments. And so that's where he is. That's where he keeps all of his little wizard supplies. And that's where all three of you are. Now the two skeletons have been restored. They stood up, and I think that is where we're going to pick up. So Roland, Mari, and Rin, what have you guys done since everything? Rin, what are you doing since the fight?
I think, well, I went to the smith, like out of character because I wanted to learn tools of the trades, which I did.
And yep.
I finally
You're now proficient in blacksmithery.
Like, yeah.
Now, and I'll talk to you. I've got some ideas about that on the side, and I'll talk to you about that later. You may want to consider to keep training in that, and we'll talk about why. I'll message you. about it. So what are you doing after that?
Message.
I'm gonna slide into your DMs, bro.
Oh damn.
This is the redneck face you want to pop up on your DMs, like, hello, I'm from the middle of the country. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, so I tried, if possible, to prepare some like basic traps so I can use them in some.
Okay, hold on. When you say basic traps, I want you to describe the functionality of the trap as best as you can.
Like a bear trap.
So the pressure plate claw.
A rolling trap. A small rolling trap. Yeah.
I swear, Ren should start a trapper company with traps and name it the Rolling Trap. How frustrating for a druid would that be?
Man, that's patented. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, made a few basic of these, and
yeah.
I also wanted to have like some sort of dart shooting thingy that I could like put on a wall. Or
you talking like Indiana Jones? Dart comes out from the side of the wall.
More like a small crossbow, like that I could hide somewhere or just.
So something? Are you gonna lay a rope and have the rope trigger the handle, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Anything else?
Rin is going to try to make some disguises and try to go around town and pass himself for someone else, like a farmer maybe, or I'm just trying a few things. Like I wanna see if I am able to be unrecognized by my peers.
So you're just trying to see how incognito you can go.
I saw your mouth move, but yeah, incognito, yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yes, you can. So you're just trying to go incognito, right?
I am.
Okay. Do me a favor real quick. Make a blacksmithing tools check twice. And then a disguise kit's a thing. You do disguise kit, and we'll add your charisma to that.
What would be the check for disguise? Dex?
Charisma, I think.
Charisma, yeah.
Persuading.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're persuading people. Okay, we'll talk about those results in a little bit. Basha, what you doing?
Basha would be with Hiri and training.
Okay, and we've already rolled that. Like, unless you want to learn something specific. you're good to go.
I want to teach Hiri like dog tricks, like sit and roll over and fetch.
And get me a beer out of the fridge. That's a good one.
Yeah, that one too.
That especially. But make sure you get it out of somebody else's fridge for win. Okay, give me a with advantage because of your relationship with her. Give me an animal. Animal. Give me another. No, I'm not going to mess it up the way I almost did the other time. Yeah, that one. Animal handling. And just to catch up, guys, Ren rolled an 18 and a 8 on the blacksmithing tools and a 13 on the disguise kit. And then Mari just popped out with advantage, a 14 and a 14. So a 14 for sure on the animal handling. And Hiri, very, very smart animal, knows like sit, lay down, roll over. Any simple trick that a dog would do that doesn't really have an impact on anything that your foxy fox can do. And then Roland, what hast thou been doing?
So that whole last bit with Caleb and him turning into a dragon and that whole thing,
Yeah,
kind
he's
of
crispier than a kale chip now.
yeah. So Roland's kind of just like, I think I need to unwind a bit, and instead of going to his glade, he goes back to the humble beginnings and kind of just sits and chats with Nina while imbibing.
Okay, so it's been like 4 hours, 3 hours. Toss me a Constitution check. Plus, you've been drinking earlier, so with disadvantage. Plus emotional trauma. I think all that's fair. Yeah.
Sure, a con check or save.
We'll do con save. Yeah, you're drunk, but you're not smashed. You're doing great. The DC was 15. Oh wait, disadvantage.
So that's a 12.
You are in full. Nah, you don't understand, Nina. When I was a kid, things were messed up, man. It's not like it is now. I didn't have no happy family. It's not bad, but we moved around. I'm like you're that kind of. Your stories aren't finished. You get about halfway, like me with my ADD. You're about halfway through a story, and you see a rabbit trail of sadness that you're running down. You're not like a completely sad drunk, but you're pretty emotional right now, so you're all over the place with it.
All
Nina,
right.
however, is full on rolling with you. She's drinking and having a good old time. Bressinger, what are you doing right after that dragon fight?
I am going to just immediately after the dragon is dead and kind of gone. I'm just going to go ahead and like disappear for a little bit. Just go into the humble beginnings, get a flask, fill it with whatever is the strongest drink that they have. And I'm going to go down to hopefully there's a local like library type situation. And I'm going to go on down there with my flask. Just be like, I am too sober for this. And go and just do some research.
Okay, I will let you do an arc. Tell me exactly what you're researching.
I'm going to be researching that weird Blair Witch symbol that was burned onto the ground.
Give me a history check with disadvantage. Wait, let's see. Roll a constitution check with disadvantage. Save with disadvantage. Because this is the same day that you had 15 shots and fought a red dragon. You're not exactly in the right state of mind.
Not doing great.
If I could do triple disadvantage, I would.
Oh, you're the best. I got a
You know what?
7.
I'm feeling generous. Why don't you make that constitution save with advantage? Oh, okay. You failed. What happens is you got a 7 and a 6. So you're drunk. You can go to the library and you can make a history check with disadvantage, but the DC is pretty high.
I'm just going to stumble my way into the library like, give me books!
I need knowledge.
I need the knowledge. I'm too sober even though I am drunk. I got an 18.
We got a 14 because disadvantage.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
You're pretty hammered. Reading books and studying is probably not the easiest right now. Although there's some monks that would disagree. Maybe you could be from Wisconsin, I guess. That's how they roll.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when I was in college, that's how I spent most of my nights.
Yeah.
All
Same.
right, so
You can read some things, not very well, but
I couldn't. Not me personally. Reading is out. It was all knowledge, and I'm just a fun ball of jokes. So you have learned that there is a cult, and they use that symbol, and they worship dragons and undead. That's it. From the books you found, there's not a lot. It's like the Reader's Digest version of a article that somebody else told somebody, and they recounted it to the magazine.
It's just a bad BuzzFeed article.
It is a very bad top 20 things you need to know about creepy dead demon dragon cults. 1, they're horrible. 19, they usually smell bad. That movie. And this brings us to Rabbi Jam and Basil the Lesser. What do you two guys want to do now with Cry?
Tim and Tom are okay.
Tim and Tom are in as good of condition as you think they could.
Robbie John is going to give Gry a congratulatory pat on the shoulder and, you know, be happy for him that his Tim and Tom are back in shape.
Perfect. And Gry, very emotional, goes, "Thank you for helping me bring him here. I'm sorry I was a little. It was weird."
Robbie John is glad that you have your Tim and Tom return, but she has some questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. What can I? What's up? What?
Well, Robbie John is wondering where Tim and Tom came from. Like, how are they your friends now?
I mean, they listen whenever I wanna talk about anything, and they don't make fun of me, and like they were like when I need help, they're always helpful. Like I think that's everything a friend is. Like they're the most
No,
friendliest
no.
people I
Not
know.
why are they your friends? How did they become your friends?
What do you, when I mean they time is really I think all friendship needs is like amendable people and time.
Robbie John's gonna look over to Basil and kind of be like, help?
Gray, I think Rabbi Jean more means where did you get the bodies from?
Oh, you mean like
Yeah,
where
because they
did
were like
Tim and
people
Tom?
once.
Because they're skeletons and they used to not. You
Yeah.
want to know about that?
Yeah, that is the case.
Well, I'm a necromancer, and like
Right? Yeah, we got that
I can
part.
I can do this. It's the thing I do. Um,
Yeah. So we're still on
and
the things that we already understand, Gray. We're kind of looking for the part that we weren't there for, you know?
well, they died, and
Okay, yeah.
I
Do you want me to walk you through this, or how about okay? So when they were not skeletons and they had
they were alive.
bodies, who were they?
Well, that's Tim and that's Tom.
Okay, so like beyond the name though, like what did Tim and Tom do? Did you know them before they were dead?
Yes, and then they died.
Yeah.
So I they're I'm from a family and
Okay, a lot of people are Gray.
like a long time ago. Which side note, this is a very young. I know he's like 5'9", 5'10", but he's like middle school, right? Maybe.
Babby's first necromancy.
So a while ago,
Wait, he's a child?
what? Yeah, he's a child.
Okay.
So a while ago, some stuff happened. It was really bad, and
Gray, there are two dead bodies here. We we really already know that. I
yeah.
apologize for getting frustrated. It's just this, you know.
Well, I fine.
Okay,
He kind of puts his hands on me. Fine, but this is really pushing the limits of new friendship, and it only counts because we're guildies. And
yes, of course.
frankly, I find it a bit off-putting, Mister, that in my own home you would make me talk about this.
You're right. That's really messed up that I would want to know.
He kind
where
of
these
turns his
bodies
cold
came
shoulder to you and looks right at Rabbi Jan. So,
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
was younger, and he pauses to look at you, like, shut up. When I was younger, my parents got involved with this thing. It was like fun at first because it was all like, oh my god, camp, right? Like we were learning all this stuff, and there was like magic, and it was gnarly. Like, you remember the first time like you learned you could punch somebody in the face really good, Basil? Like how kind of liberating that was, or maybe when you figured out that you could purr, Rabbi Jan. I don't know what you do, but like the first time you felt like your purpose.
I suppose.
Robbie John is going to nod in agreement just to kind of
Hold on.
hopefully move this forward.
So my parents started taking me, and like this guy showed me a thing, and I cast my first spell, and it was awesome because I was never good at anything, and people really didn't like me, but now I could do the spell. And then they were like super excited, like everybody all of a sudden cared because all of these people could cast spells, and it got weird, and we had to like give everything away. And when I was little, I had my neighbors. We grew up real poor, and I had my neighbors, and they had twin sons that were my age. And he kind of waves to Tim and Tom. And we did everything together because they were the only people who didn't make fun of me. And then this cult, to keep learning magic, said I had to give up everything, and they took them from me. And it sucked, and I took them back the only way I know how. And they've been with me ever since. And I left.
Robbie John is currently looking like the sad Puss in Boots from Shrek. He's also gonna kind of like one arm shoulder hug little baby Gry.
Little baby guy, so such a cute little necker boy.
Well, that's certainly a very macabre story, but I didn't really want to make you have to relive any of that. But I felt, I think me and Rabbi John both felt it was important to identify where these two bodies came from. But that
I
seems
know,
pretty
I know.
bad.
People think necromancer, and they think I'm like out digging up Nana from her place. And I promise, this is nobody's Nana.
No, those are two very young skeletons. We can tell that it's nobody's Nana. That's besides the point. What I mean to say is, my apologies, but you understand where I'm coming from, which is good.
Robbie John is glad that you have Tim and Tom back with you.
One day, I'm gonna go make those jerks stop making people do stuff like this. It's horrible.
Robbie John wants to help you, and they sound like they suck.
Wait, what did you say, Rabbi John? I kind of missed the end.
Rabbi Jen wants to help.
Okay.
Yeah, those people sound like they suck.
Yeah, they super suck. And why don't both of you guys give me a history check? And if you roll really well, you might, like, some of this may sound something. Because groups like this typically make a splash. All right, Basil.
I rolled a
you jerk.
19.
Robbie John rolled a 19.
Holy cow.
Rabbi John, we're in sync.
Okay, I need everybody besides those two to deafen themselves. You guys get DM secrets.
Yay, secrets.
Okay, so neither of you need to reply to anything I'm about to say. I'm just going to present some information, and you guys can interpret it however you want to. So he described a cult, and this is a cult that is very much focused on magic. The cult has a history of kind of forcing people into servitude, and it's very like creepy, like Midwestern American cult where you've got to give up everything to be a part of the collective, right? And that collective has a few purposes. Most people don't really know what those purposes are, but it's all about power. And even higher, the cult is trying to bring back the power of dragons, right? It's kind of the iconic Forgotten Realms cult of the dragon. They usually try to do it via undead dragons. So for this kid to have undead tendencies, it was very exciting for him. But for him to have connections to life, especially positive and uplifting connections to life, it was not something that they could have. Both, maybe you guys have. Well, no. So it's a cult. Like you said, it's a cult. It is a cult that you have heard of before. And while it's not overwhelmingly popular, this cult likes to kind of stay in the background. It is a cult that is active, usually not inside the Veil. Usually it's from places way out of the Veil. So there. Do you guys have any questions about any of this information real quick?
Is there a name of this cult that we would know? I mean, the symbol that popped up, I'm assuming is that something related to this cult?
Yeah, that's the symbol of the cult, exactly. And there's a name to the cult, but I'll be honest, I have not yet named the cult.
Well, what the hell, DM?
All right, any other questions?
No, I think I have all the information I need.
And it is the cult of Orcus.
Okay.
Orchids, like the
That
flower?
sounds great.
Nope, Orcus, like the demon prince of undeath.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
That makes more sense.
all right, that's way less cool than orchids.
Hey, orchids are neat. I mean, I didn't hear
Yeah,
very
but
well
they're not
before.
very death culty. Is that it? Is that all the questions?
Yes.
Yeah, welcome back to the thing with chats and
Hello.
stuff. Anyway, guys, and that's why everybody who wasn't in that message is a jerk.
Mhm.
Sounds reasonable.
Now we know.
So let's pause you guys, all of you, for a second. Basha, why don't you tell us what's going on? What you doing?
Basha is gonna finish the mission and remember that we have to go back to the farm to check out his living situation.
So are you going solo, or are you grabbing everybody before you go? What's the plan? Because right now you're alone. So if you just walked off, it would be a solo thing.
Basha would peek her head in humble beginnings, and would just like announce that she was going and then leave.
All right. So I'm gonna assume Roland would stumble towards you drunkenly, and so we're gonna go with that because he's AFK or AFK for those who don't speak Goober. And I think he's Braxton's side. He doesn't care because you guys have enough players that don't have to play NPCs that much. Unless it's for plot reasons. And Rin is going to be out. Rin is out and about. We're going to get to him in a second. So really, only Roland heard you, but I will let Rabbi Jan and Basil make a perception check with disadvantage. And if you roll, get a higher than a 14, you heard her as well, because you're in the shack right next to it. And Basha can be kind of loud.
I rolled a 20.
All right, Basil heard. Basil heard Basha go, I'm going to go finish it. Rabbi Jan did not hear.
Robbie Jean's cat ears are not working very well. She's distracted by sad stories.
Sad stories and dead boys. So, Basil, what do you want to do? You're in the
I had
middle
to
of
mute
sad
my
story
phone.
time. So you're in the middle of sad story time, and you hear Basha go, I'm going to go finish what we started, in Basha language.
It seems like Bash is getting ready to head out and complete the mission. We should probably go and follow. There might be more information at that whatever's living quarters. It's a little bit concerning.
We're gonna go during the day. Okay. And Gry starts to run around and do stuff real quick where you're finishing explaining.
Yeah. Good job, Gray.
He's putting two robes over Tim and Tom, so they look like weird, very skinny, hungry, maybe beggars.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Robbie Jean's gonna help and kind of like fluff the robes on their shoulders and put their hoods up and stuff.
And then he's gonna be ready to go. So you guys are gonna go with Basha?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so Basha, absent Roland, and Basil and Rabbi Jan are all heading back to the Dwarven Irish potato farmers. And we're going to pause you guys and go to Rin. Rin, you rolled a while ago an 18 and an 8 on Underson Tools, and then a 13 on your Deception. Correct?
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. So let's talk about that for a second and get you out and about on your thing. You make some really nice bear traps, okay? You make a couple of them that would fit a bear. You make a couple of them that probably would not. A little bigger, a little lower. And you did not have a good time trying to make the crossbow. It was just too complicated at this time. You're still relatively new and getting used to it. And then you went
Right.
and applied a disguise. Describe the disguise that you're wanting to pull off.
I would like something like a beggar. And I would like to change the color of my hairs to like some sort of pale gray, and had a few scars if possible, and a stash just to make sure that nobody really recognizes me, and a hat, like a beige hat made of like hay. Yeah, sorry. I was looking for the word in my head.
Yeah, so you're trying to make yourself look like a scarred beggar halfling with a mustache.
Yeah, like a beard that isn't trimmed or anything. Like it's more like somebody who didn't washed or anything for weeks, even months.
Yeah, no problem. And then are you doing anything particular while you're running around town?
I'm just having like the most boring conversation I can have with anyone I encounter, like about the weather and what they're doing with their.
Are you actually begging? Like you look like a beggar. You begging, panhandling, whatever?
Not really actually, because I know I don't want to like I know most people are poor there, so I don't want to like take advantage of it. Just want to practice like this impersonating thing.
And how long are you going to do that for?
Maybe for a couple of hours at a time. Like let's just say 3 or 4.
Okay, so then while they're doing the rest of the stuff at the house, you're probably going to be doing your thing. So you're actually split. The party's split kind of right now. And then we're going to get. Oh, what's up?
Yeah. I thought this would be like more in the downtime part. So maybe.
Oh no, that's
join...
right. Oh, so you want to
Sure.
table that for later? Okay. So then, are you going to go to the farm with the rest of the group?
I just wanted to hang out maybe in Humble's Baking, so I can catch Basha when she's going on. You know.
Yeah, so they're heading out. Are you gonna? She's come in and announced that she's leaving. Are you gonna go with?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like kind of
Okay.
putting myself together and just hailing her. Hey, where are you going?
All right, Bash, as you come into the inn and announce your intentions, you see your buddy Ren go, where are you going?
Was he not still in disguise?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
We're putting that on pause and doing that later. So we retcon the disguise until later, and we'll do that during downtime.
oh okay. Rin, I am going to the farm to finish the mission, as my uncle would like.
The potato thing?
Yes.
Alright then. I'll follow you.
Perfect. Let's go.
Okay. So Roland, Basha came in, announced that she was heading out to the farm. You're still kind of drunk, but you hear your buddy come in. You see Ren get up and go to head with her. Are you gonna follow?
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Perfect. So you're considered drunk right now, which is a condition, I guess.
Poisoned.
Probably. Yeah. I was gonna say just say you have disadvantage on dexterity for a little bit. So you guys head off. You're going back to the farm. You get there. It's the next morning, and O'Malley looks a little concerned. I believe the farmer's name is O'Malley. A little concerned. He goes, "Hey, have you? I know you guys drink a lot, but have you seen Caleb?"
He's actually a dragon and now dead.
Oh, where's we got a lot of work to do. Have you seen the boy a dragon? Oh Lord, these defenders. Ah.
I'm sure Brissinger would love to help out with any work now that Caleb is no longer with us. Or a person.
Wait,
You're so subtle.
where'd no, seriously, where's Caleb?
He was a dragon and then we killed him.
Robbie John's gonna push forward and be like, we got him. Robbie John bought him too many drinks, and he is sleeping. If you show us where his supplies are, we could help with the work.
Oh, the supply. Yeah, you just see the big barn. That's where we keep all of our tools. Hearing of that, we got a lot of potatoes to pick.
Did he have, or does he have any tools that he needs personally, like that he keeps in his personal area or anything like that?
Well, actually, he asked for his underwear, so we were supposed to get him some as well.
You got him so drunk he pissed his pants.
Yep, he did that.
Robbie John's gonna be like, yeah, he pissed his pants. That's what happened.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage because Rabbi Jane's helping out so much.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
14.
With advantage. Mighty, mighty 14. He kind of looks at you and does this, where he rubs his beard. Kind of think you should have to wear the piss pants all day at work. But that would make him smell. No, he had, if you go just east of here about 3 miles, he had a little, there's a little cave kind of in a rock. He stayed in there. He turned that into a little hovel.
Basha starts walking towards the cave.
A little cave. How appropriate.
You're very snide today, Basil.
It's been a long day.
How appropriate. All right. You guys head to the cave. Let me see. I think it is Rabbi Jan's turn to give me a random encounter percentile dice roll.
What do I roll?
Percentile. And you want to roll low.
Okay, percentile. I get it now. Well, you got a 24, so I hope you're happy.
I'm happy, and I'm sure the rest of the group is happy or unhappy, depending on how you feel about combat right now. 30 and lower kept you out of combat, so you had a roughly a 70% chance to roll higher for combat.
Hooray!
You guys make it. I'm gonna have to mix it up. You guys are starting to roll low too often, so I'll have to change the algorithm. You guys,
Just so you know, I almost always roll low, so there's that.
you guys make it to a few miles east. You see the cave that he's talking about, and it's just you get kind of an eerie feeling from it. What do you guys want to do? It's just kind of a hill, and in the hill is like a boulder, and kind of nestled in between the boulder and the hill is a cave dug into where you look. It looks like it may be a little bit of a living space was dug around the rock into the hill.
As we like approach it, Basil's gonna like sort of absent-mindedly grip the back of his neck, and he looks pretty nervous, like uncomfortable.
You hear Gry go, "Sweet cave, this is way better than a hut. This guy must have been loaded."
For a
Robbie John
dream.
is sad kitty again. But Robbie John's poor heart, she can hardly stand all of this crap today.
Chan's gonna adopt this kid.
Wait, does Gry not get a room in the humble beginnings with us?
He's still how the other three were kind of apprentice guild members. He's there.
Mm.
So for him to make full guild member, that's like a lifestyle change for him. I know it's not the glorious digs of our delicate flower princess.
How dare you?
I dared, but I almost couldn't get all the way through the dare because I knew the rage was gonna come. Only tired
Just disdain.
resignation. Just disdain. Ah, it's worse. That's one of the motivating emotions. All right, so you guys are gonna head into this cave. What's going on?
It sounded pretty small. Are we all gonna fit? I mean, some of us are kind of large.
Gry's kind of stumbling towards it. Roll and give me a nature check. And Rabbit Jam, what is your he rolled
20
a
for
20
nature.
total. Rabbit Jam, what domain is your cleric?
Let me look.
Give you the hard questions.
The life domain.
That's awesome. Why don't you give me a religion check?
Okay, that is a 12.
Okay, so the cave doesn't seem right to you as good as you got. Roland, this cave, it's like you get the same feeling from this cave that Luke Skywalker got from that one cave on Dagobah. That's the best and nerdiest way I can describe that cave. So what do you guys want to do with this cave?
Go inside of it.
There's room for one at a time. Who's going in first?
But I can go first if you.
I'll go second.
Are you sneaking in? Or are you walking in boldly?
Of course, I'm sneaking in.
Before
This-
you go in, you should know that there is something very, very off about this place. So
Robbie
in
Jean does
cautiously.
not like this cave. Robbie Jean is not. No.
We could maybe wait a while and see if something comes out.
I bet this would be a long while, so I think this would be easier if I would go first and roll. And of course, there is always something off about caves like this. What do you think? Creatures roam inside of these shits.
I could do pass without trace, and that way we could sneak into it for the most part.
Oh yes, I want to roll a sneak with pass without a trace just to see the results. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I cast pass without
All right,
trace.
so you cast pass without a trace, and then let's see those sneak stealth rolls for everybody that's gonna stealth.
Little stuff, but not going to.
Oh, thank God I did. Jesus Christ.
Oh fuck, man. Holy shit.
Robbie Jean is not going in that cave.
She did it again!
God!
Oh, Silver got it. Oh, she got 2 zeros. What the
Plus
fuck?
10. Plus 10. Plus 10.
How does that happen?
Silver's roll said ooh.
She did it! She did it twice! It's gold!
Oh no!
I'm sending Sedelius a picture of that.
How is this even possible?
I'm
I
not
love
playing.
This is cursed.
I'm
How
gonna
can you have curse
DM
die when there aren't
stealth
even any
stuff
die?
at Resinger for the rest of all time.
Yeah, in Bursa's defense, he is pretty drunk, and I will be very drunk later in the evening.
I am a ninja doing my ninja song. I am a ninja. Man, a song. That's what's going on.
So
No ninja
she's
go.
basically just ruining all the efforts I'm doing to get inside, like stealthily. Since she's making a lot of noise, or I don't know, man. It's just like.
Sir,
fucking
you rolled a 1 and a
amazing.
4. Let's not say you're doing too much effort.
Yeah, fuck you, Red.
You forgot to add a plus 10 to that, man.
Yeah, plus 10, plus 11, you're a rogue. I get it. You got 25. But you rolled a 4 to get that 25.
Yeah,
Still
Brice
got a
also
15
has a
on that
10.
4, buddy.
technically.
Briz has got 10. Okay, so,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's so good.
Okay, so the results of the rolls were Ren got a 25 with pass and cheater rogue abilities. Silver got a 10 with Pass Without Trace, which, in case you're reading this at home, Pass Without Trace gives 10. Mari got a 31 because she's a stealthy assassin Amazon. Fungal Shook got a 30. Roland a 32. And Rabbi Jan is rolling, got a 20.
Sorry, the
And
button
what's
said small.
that's okay. What's the order you guys are going?
I think I should be just like not allowed to go in the cave.
Oh,
at
you're
this
you're
point.
going in that cave. No, you guys are. Those stealth rolls are the rolls for the action of going into the cave. Then the way
Oh,
we play
goody.
it, yeah, the way we play it is once you roll, you do the action and you believe you pass.
Okay, so since I rolled the fucking lowest roll that you could possibly get, Briss is gonna go ahead and just kind of stumble past everybody. Just like, leave it to me. I will go into cave. We will do this. It's going to be fine. I see nothing wrong with this dumb fucking cave. It's fine.
So Ren's trying to like make sure she doesn't do that, but he's like um hanging by Silver's armor or like trying to grab anything and just keeps on being like dragged, even though he's trying with all his strength and might to stop her. He's just like being dragged up while following the dragonborn.
I'll also try and stop Briz, just like stand in front of him, like, sir, please, you're drunk.
Sir, please.
Sir, sir,
There.
you have the right to remain silent. Gonna do a fantasy breathalyzer. Oh wait, no, I don't want to do that on a dragon. But no, I take that back.
Take it back.
Robbie Jean is going to nestle herself in the middle of everybody, so she's neither first nor last.
Okay, make a dexterity save. The first 3 people.
Okay, I'm assuming that's Basil, Ren, and Briz, right?
Yeah.
Earl the 17.
I didn't roll
Oh,
anything.
God.
Everybody ignore it. It's
Oh
fine.
god. it's just not going well.
I'm seriously about to cry.
What is wrong with your virtual dice?
I don't know.
How
Well,
is this
Silver
happening?
rolled a 1 and a 2. Damn.
How does that even?
I did my fucking. Shut up, Ricky. I swear to God, I did my character sheet wrong.
I've never heard a more honest shut up Ricky in my life.
I'm Ricky, and I've never heard a more honest setup with me in my life. Okay, Ren rolled a natural 20 for a 28 dexterity save. Basil rolled a total of 17, and Brissinger got rough, and he rolled a 2, and then with the modifiers of 1. As you walk in, there is a tripwire. Ren, without even thinking about it, just kind of hopped over it. Just kind of little, you're being annoyed, like struggling. Basil was behind Brissinger, who came plowing in like Thomas the Tank Engine. And is now suspended by his legs from the ceiling, which bumped his head on the ground. He took 1 point of ouch damage because he is taller than the cave, but is now upside down.
Briz,
What do you want, tiny man?
would you like a hand?
You see
Yeah,
Greg come
I
up and he
think
goes,
Fuziv, yeah.
Are you doing this on purpose?
Yes, this is all according to plan.
And oh, and then he kind of steps back in line and feels embarrassed.
Would you like me to cut you loose?
No, it's fine. I am fine. It's totally fine. I definitely don't want to get off of this being upside down thing.
Alright,
Oh
so
no, that's Gravine hears the sarcasm and he goes, and he comes back and he starts like cutting at the rope with his knife.
Well,
Thank
you
you,
look
tiny
pretty this way.
necromancer.
And then all of a sudden your legs drop down, but you don't really fall. You just kind of tumble and get up. I'm not gonna make you roll for that one. I'm gonna let that one go.
Well.
I'll help Briz get up.
I am on ground now. Seems accurate.
Yeah.
Alright, I would suggest you don't go first next time and let the professionals handle it, please.
I suppose.
Don't suppose, just listen to me.
All right,
You-
are you guys
you-
checking this?
the professional
heading into
who
this
didn't
cave?
bother to check for traps.
I was trying to stop her, Yeah, well, I was just trying to stop her. You know, halflings have ADHD too. So Rin is going to try to keep going forward into the cave and checking for traps.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check? Because there's no like spot trap skill in 5e. It's weird to me.
No, it's perception, right? Then an investigation if you want to like disarm and shit.
Yeah, you don't see any traps. That was it. All right, so you guys are checking out this cave. So as you come into this cave, so let me set the place. You're in the Vale, grassland, right? Probably knee-high grass for the average-sized person. So probably ankle-high grass for Bresinger, who's a giant, or maybe face-sized grass for Ren, who is not a giant. But it's kind of waving. It's like the fields of Kansas where the grass kind of in waves in the wind, right? Very peaceful. And there's this hill with a good big rock that from a distance you can only really see the top part of. So as you go in, after you get Brisinger back off the ceiling, you see that there is this cave actually opens up. There's a couple of rooms in the down further in the path there. Very early into this cave, you see the symbol of the cult that was on the dirt, but the symbol of the cult is glowing. It's actually the sort of source of light. Every 20 feet or so on both sides of the little pathway you're walking, there is that symbol, and that symbol radiates almost like it's like when you went like black light bowling, that kind of weird purple light that the black light does. Like white clothes are glowing. Ren's face is luminescent right now.
Rin is going to try to take a look at the symbols and figure out if this is like a normal occurring thing or if there is traps or anything that could harm us to the best of its knowledge.
So you're going to what do you describe the actual
Arcana check.
roll it. Let's see it. Anybody who can cast spells, feel free to give me an Arcana check.
This fucking discrimination.
I don't want to
It is
hear
That's
it.
indeed,
a
'cause
four.
I can't cast a spell.
7 for rolling.
Let me get back.
Rin rolled 8, 19, and a
I
23.
finally got a 21. Yay.
I feel bad. Basil, do you want to Arcana check this?
No, I'm just a spellless pleb.
No, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll, pleb.
See, I've infiltrated by
rolled a
guilt tripping the
12.
DM.
All right. Anybody who rolled an 18 or higher.
No, my feelings!
Anybody who rolled a 15 or higher, you know that this is a very simple kind of light enchantment. It's the same quality as the light cantrip, right? It's just a little bit more expensive because it's semi-permanent. And then if you break any part of the symbol, the whole thing deactivates.
Well, that only seems to be
Let
some
me
sort
see.
of magical light. Nothing more.
Upon seeing all these symbols, can I like turn to Gry and just ask him to verify if this is the same symbol from his cult?
Gry's looking at it and he goes, "Yeah, that's. So you're asking if this is the symbol? Yes.
Right. Okay. And were you ever branded with this symbol?
Oh, like on me?
Yeah.
Take off your fucking
that's
shirt.
what that means. No, Rin.
Whoa, I'm only a boy.
Yeah, he's just a kid, Rin.
This is not what he said. So he looks at you and he goes, "Are you asking if I'm branded with that symbol?"
Yeah, and Basil's gonna.
And he looks Basil straight in the eye and goes, "Like you?"
Thank you for listening to Defenders of the Veil. You can follow the cast on Facebook at Defenders of the Veil or on Twitter at Defenders Veil. If you're a fan of the show, why not head over to Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or your pod-catching app of choice to subscribe and leave us a rating and review. Be sure to tune in next week for more shenanigans from the Veil. Until then, Guildies, farewell.